is a fringe player. I don't think they use him necessarily correctly, especially on the defensive end. He should stick to the 3, the occasional 4. When I see him playing the 5 and guarding Kristaps Porzingis, it aggravates the hell out of me. Really. It's terrible. I don't know now, with this trade and shaving $7-8 million off the cap, what happens with Joe Harris. I really don't. It's going to cost 2-3 years. You got to figure he's going to be in the $5 to $7 million range. And the only way we can use bird rights or go over the cap is if we use all the cap space. Otherwise, he fits under the cap, and then we're stuck. And that's not a position that Sean Marks ever wants to be in. He doesn't want to be stuck with the cap financially. Everything is fluid to this man. Constantly looking to ways to move. Today's a prime example. Bad locker room guy from a general manager who preaches high character. Boom, Dwight Howard. Why? Because it's not about Dwight Howard. It's about next offseason. But every signing, multi-year signing we make, this offseason directly affects our ability to possibly change this franchise next season. So now we're in a holding pattern. We don't sign much. 1-year deals, reclamation projects on the cheap. Keep some cap space in case there's potential to take on salary next trade deadline. A lot is riding on this season, improving, and then next offseason is just going to be a pure crapshoot. There's going to be so much anticipation, and this is not going to stop. We all know on Twitter, on IG, Nets Daily, all the Facebook Brooklyn Net groups that I'm a part of, the conversations are already beginning. Judging the trade, judging the potential cap space. Sean Marks is this, Sean Marks is that. Fire Kenny Atkinson, keep Kenny Atkinson. It's only going to get worse. There's going to be so much talk about who and when and how and what's it going to take and what people think. We have now put ourselves at the forefront of the free agent conversation. And what we do now will have a great impact on next year. There was time where we were talking about, you know what? Let's move some of these guys. Let's regress in order to get that top pick in the draft to move forward. The whole game just changed, folks. This trade changed everything. It changed everything because now it's not one max contract like it would have been if we didn't make this deal. You're talking 2. You're talking competing in the Eastern Conference with the right pairing. And if there's not a roster around them, they're not coming. And a lot can change. Golden State's already discussing an extension with Klay Thompson. According to all reports that I've read and everything on social media and all major sports networks, Kawhi Leonard wants to be in L.A. He's from there. That's where he wants to be. People are talking about Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker. They're restricted free agents. They're not going anywhere. Kyrie, I read a lot about him wanting to go to the Knicks. Would he want to go to the Knicks if he can bring a friend to Brooklyn? Still New York City. I understand the whole aspect of the Garden. Do the Knicks have what it takes to get a Kyrie? Money's one thing. The ability to win is another. Colin Cowherd show, I heard that Kyrie and Jimmy Butler are friends. Talk about a backcourt. That'll really be Brooklyn's backcourt. Just to be in the conversation will be fun. It'll be annoying. Not going to lie. I hate these what-if scenarios. I like to dissect stuff and talk about it when it happens. I'm able to talk about Dwight Howard trade and the cap savings because it's here. It's in front of us. We know it's coming. How Sean Marks chooses to use it, that's up to him. Big things coming to Brooklyn, folks. Nets Nation is going to be one hell of a 16-month stretch that we are about to embark on. That cap space is going to loom over everything. Every conversation regarding the Brooklyn Nets is going to begin and end with the fact that they have the potential to sign 2 max contract players. It is going to diminish a lot of what happens this season. If we go through this offseason and D'Lo and Rondae Hollis are going to enter restricted free agents, then we're all in on signing 2 max guys. But they're not going to be able to get nobody in this market rooting for this team is going to get away from this conversation. It's just not going to happen. There's no way. You can't have that type of positioning. Look at the Lakers. That's all we heard about all season long. And they have some nice young players. They got the steal of the draft in Kyle Kuzma, Brendan Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle. A fun offensive system, similar to Golden State, just a hell of a lot less talent. And all you heard, this one wants to go to L.A., this one wants to go to L.A., that one wants to go to L.A. It consumes everything that the news coverage, the fans, and the players. There's no doubt the players talk. Players are probably already talking, what do we think? Is Brooklyn a place we can go win? Who else can we get to come with us? What are the ways can they make that team good? Why the hell would you want to go to the Western Conference anyway? If you're a potential free agent, unless you're taking a lot less money to play on one of these super teams, you are running from the Western Conference. Running. Because you are about to have Golden State, Dynasty, Houston, who I think would have beat Golden State if CP3 doesn't get hurt, and now potentially the Lakers? That's insanity. And it doesn't even have to be Kawhi, LeBron, Paul George. There's no reason why Paul George won't stay in Oklahoma City. So now insert DeMarcus Cousins or another big free agent, and you still have LeBron and Kawhi. So those top 4 teams, no one's competing with that. So I think in the next 2-3 years, you're going to see a migration east. If Klay Thompson is willing to leave $50 million on the table to stay and continue to win championships in Golden State, God bless him. Because that's what Kawhi's about to do. He's about to leave $50, $60 million on the table to leave San Antonio. The best ran organization probably in all of sports. And this dude wants out over some comments some teammates made. It's crazy. So how important are these supermax deals that these players negotiated with the owners? The last collective bargaining agreement. I think it's coming back to bite the owners in the ass. And these players don't care because they're going to make their money other places. If you're willing to leave $50 million or more on the table to leave somewhere, you must be making enough money where that's not important to you. I couldn't fathom leaving $1,000 on the table for something, let alone $50 to $60 million. Players are in control. And that's why I really think Sean Marks needs to really focus on what he's doing. It starts now. There are other potential moves he can make. But the big one now is what happens with Allen Crabbe. I don't see him opting out of $19.5 million next year because there is a player option for next season. I can't see him opting out. Allen Crabbe is not getting $19.5 million unless he wants a longer-term deal, so he opts out. And now that would just be, whew. You want to talk about dancing in the streets of Jersey and New York. My goodness. $80, $90 million. Ooh, boy. That would be something else, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at BKNN Live, BKnetsnation Live. And this is a little something new for me. Riding solo. Definitely looking for guests and whatnot, but I had to jump on tonight. My original plan was to consume all the info from the draft, see what happens, do my homework on the players the Nets picked, come on and start this podcast with talking about the draft, the young players, and then going into the offseason about what I think the Nets are going to do. But there was no way I could wait and not jump on and just kind of discuss this trade because it's huge. It has huge implications for this offseason, the regular season, and, of course, next year. So you can expect a lot of different segments. I have a lot of good ideas. We're really going to dive deep into the players on the team, game-by-game breakdowns, the G League, going to be covering the Summer League top to bottom for Brooklyn, going to be jumping on live. We are on Spreaker, and eventually BK Nets Nation will have its own app. for Android and iPhone. Working on that right now. Our website will be up soon. It's actually up now. There's not much to it, but BKnetsnation.com. I'll be doing a revisionist history blog, a lot of what-ifs over the last 10 to 15 years of the then New Jersey Nets and now Brooklyn. So there's a lot coming. My love for the Brooklyn Nets continues to grow. I love talking about it. I love engaging in conversation on social media. We'll be doing a lot more of it now that the podcast is back. And I want to hear from you. Shout me out on Twitter. Message me. You want to jump on the show? You want to discuss something I said, something you disagree with? Send me a message. We can definitely set it up. There'll be a live chat feature. Probably do 2 or 3 shows a month that are live so we can engage in conversation in real time. But I'm really excited to bring this back. I have a lot to talk about. And there's going to be a lot going on with the Brooklyn Nets. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope everyone enjoys. You'll be able to find us on all the major podcast platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, the new Google Podcast. So we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be coming in hot and heavy the next few weeks. As news breaks, I'll be jumping on, giving you guys my thoughts and opinions. Definitely looking for some guests. So anyone who wants to jump on and engage in enlightening conversation about the Brooklyn Nets, any Knicks fans out there want to come on and talk, compare franchises, leave you guys in the dust in a few years, I'm down for that. It's good to be back. It's going to be an exciting year, and I'm really looking forward to the Summer League just to be able to see them play. I just love watching the games. It's a lot of fun. It's exciting. I know that there is a plan in place. There's a structure to the organization that makes sense. We're making moves that clearly Sean Marks doesn't lose when it comes to trades. He's been robbing people blind to better this franchise, and this is his 3rd offseason. And we are already been put in a position where we could be major players. Franchise-changing type major players. So God bless him. You know, Kenny Atkinson, his 2nd season, better than the first, but definitely there needs to be some improvements. Rotations, offensive strategies. I'm so tired of relying on the 3. But that's the way the game is. Give me the game from the late 90s and I'd be perfectly happy, but that's definitely not going to happen anymore. This is where we're at. I eventually think there'll be a return to dominant low post play, mid-range jump shots, you know, the DeMar DeRozan type game. Poor Toronto. Kind of feel bad for them. I kind of expect this podcast to be about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I don't think I have an hour of solo talking in me. Episodes where we have guests definitely will be no more than an hour. It's just going to be one man's opinion on the team. You know, I'm not one of those get hyped, ride or die, every move is the end of the world. I consider myself a realist. I kind of understand. I like to think I understand how to build this team. And I definitely think Sean Marks is doing it the right way. And he's just continuing to provide himself with more options. And it's going to be exciting. I'm happy to be back. We are approaching the half-hour mark. So tomorrow night, after the Nets' final pick in the draft, I'll probably be jumping on to record our 2nd episode. And then from there, we'll go into the weekend and probably do 1 or 2 episodes next week, leading into free agency, and then July 1st. And over the course of that weekend, I'll be on doing as many episodes as needed to keep everyone here up to date. I thank you for joining us. As a reminder, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at BKNN Live. Nets Nation, episode 1 in the books. Good night, everybody.